what productivity is, or what being productive is in your world, because productivity could mean anything, or being productive could mean anything. But it's not until you actually break being productive down in your world are you really able to say, okay, yeah, I'm productive. But if you don't break that down, you're really not sure. All you can say is that you're busy. So part of this is going to help you be productive and not busy, and help you really think about what for being productive is in your world. So if that does make sense, I want you to type the word productive in the chat. If you are able to type that word productive in the chat, because that word is important, because the whole idea is to be productive, and you want to know if you are being productive. And that journey to being productive is when you are able to continuously take aligned steps, continuously, repeatedly be able to take those steps. And this is really good, I believe, for people who feel like they've been diagnosed with ADHD or something like that, because having this awareness of whether you're productive and not busy, and then being able to take the power of all that energy of being diagnosed as ADHD and be able to channel that towards something that makes you feel really excited and good about your life. So let's get started. So if you notice in this screen, um, I have steps. I have footsteps, and those footsteps those footsteps are a symbol of what you're actually taking as an individual. You're actually taking steps every day. You're taking steps in some direction, in some form or fashion. Now, without a vision, everything feels possible, but nothing is clear. Now, if you see this, you see this person in this screen, he's surrounded by darkness. Everywhere is darkness. And a lot of times we talk about the darkness as something to be afraid of, but actually, darkness represents possibility. Darkness represents possibility, because in that darkness, nothing is clear, nothing is defined. So that means you could choose anything. You can choose anything in the darkness, because it's all available to you. All you have to do is create your vision, decide what you want to do in that darkness, and then now all of a sudden you have light, because you've defined what it is that you desire or want in the midst of that darkness. But if you haven't defined what it is that you really want, you remain in the dark. Hey, Jamina. Jamina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just getting started. So you have to define what it is that you want in the midst of all the possibilities. You got to define it. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting or standing and just wandering in the dark, going from thing to thing, from thing to thing. So understand that vision is not just what you see, it is the light that keeps you from wandering. Vision is not just what you see, it's the light that keeps you from wandering around chasing after all of the possibilities. If you think about it, if you're sitting in the dark, nothing's defined. So that means anything is possible, right? There's nothing defined in the darkness. So that means the options are endless. And for many people, you can end up overwhelmed in the darkness because you can't see anything. You're overwhelmed. Hope that makes sense. If that makes sense, I want you to say yes in the chat. Say, yeah, okay, I got you. I see where you're going with that. All right. Now, without vision, everything feels possible, but nothing is clear. That's why you feel overwhelmed in the dark. That's why you feel that way. So, in the dark, there's no direction, there's no clarity. You have movement, but not progress. So, in the beginning, I was talking about, Jamia, is that you have to define what being productive is for you in your world and in your environment. If you don't define what productive is in your environment, you'll find yourself always being busy, but never really feeling like you made progress because you didn't define productive in your environment. You have to define what productive is. For example, productive may have been I did 5 phone calls today. Maybe you didn't close anything, but you did 5 phone calls. And in your world, that's productive. So if you don't have that definition, then you can never really say whether you're productive or not. The only thing you can just, at the end of the day, you can say, well, I was real busy. Okay, great. Yeah, you were busy. But where did that take you? That's where vision illuminates where it is you're going. So a lot of entrepreneurs are in this space right here where there is a little light, but still no direction. There's a little light. That means you have glimpses of where it is that you want to go. You have glimpses. You have spurts. You have moments of clarity, and then it goes back to that darkness. You have moments of, oh, I know exactly what I want to do. And then all of a sudden, you're like, I don't know what I want to do. If y'all been there before, put a one in the chat. Be like, yep, I've been there. Some days I know exactly where I'm going, and then other days I'm totally confused. Put a one in the chat. Be like, yep, I've been there. So you got some awareness. There's many options. And then this is the worst thing. You're constantly switching audiences, switching tools and tactics that you're using online, uh, changing back and forth from different platforms that you're using to market your business. One day you on Alignable, the next thing you on TikTok, then you jump back over to Facebook, then you go back over to LinkedIn, then you like, oh man, I think I'm gonna try Pinterest. And but you never stick it out long enough to really find out what's going to bring success because you don't have the clarity of what you really want to achieve. So you just got to pick that thing out and just go for it and stay with it. So again, some awareness, many options, and constant switching. So they've got you got ideas. There's energy. There's movement, but you're jumping from thing to thing. And it's not that you're lazy. It's just the path isn't clear. And this is the cycle of creating, stopping, restarting, and wondering why the results aren't consistent. If you want consistent results, then you have to stick with it to get consistent results. If you want consistent results, you got to stick with it. Vision, again, is not just what you see, it's the light that keeps you from wandering. Wandering. Listen, in this entrepreneurial world, it's so easy to wander all around and all of this opportunity and all this technology. It's so easy to just to start wandering. Man, you start going down that rabbit hole and you're like, oh my God, like I feel like I just spent hours wandering around in the Goodwill or in the thrift store, or wandering around in the mall, going from store to store because it's so many opportunities and you just can't make a choice. It's a difficult place. So let me say this: aligned steps equals staying in the light of your vision. I want you guys really to look at this slide because this slide is the core of what I want to say to you right now. I want you to see how the light right here illuminates the pathway. The light illuminates the pathway. That is important. Your vision is the light. The thing that you've decided that you want to achieve, the direction that you want to go, your vision is that light. And I want you to type in the chat, my light. My light. You got to really think about that. And then, actually, I want you to ask this question: what is my light? That's the better question. What is my light? You got to know what your light is because your light is going to illuminate the pathway. So if you're stuck trying to figure out which way you need to go, what it is that you need to do, that's because you don't have one source of light. You don't want a whole bunch of sources of light because now you're distracted. You're bouncing around from thing to thing to thing to thing, not having one source of light. You need one light source and let that light source illuminate your path. Look at that. This is powerful. I mean, in darkness, the light will cast will illuminate and show you just where to go. There's no confusion in this picture, none whatsoever. And if you find yourself constantly jumping in and out of the light, then that's where the problem lies. The problem lies with your inability to stay in the light. I don't know if y'all remember the movie where they said stay in the light, Carol Ann. I think it was Poltergeist. Stay in the light, Carol Ann. Stay in the light. Stop wandering around in the darkness of all the opportunities that are available in your business. You can do everything, but everything isn't for you. So you have to stay in the light. The light shows you your path. If you find yourself confused, if you find yourself not knowing what to do, if you're finding yourself stuck, that means you step back into the darkness. Don't chase everything. Follow what is illuminated. Follow what is illuminated. If it's not illuminated by what your vision is, it's not for you. Stay in the light. Remember, when you stay in the light, every step will compound. If you stay in the light, every step will compound. Compounding means you can continue when you repeat the same thing over time. You don't have to do more. You just keep doing what you're doing, and that compounds automatically. Repetition compounds. Every time you step out of the light, you go back into confusion. So again, if you find yourself confused, it's because you're not in the light. Stay in the light, you won't be confused. Get into the darkness, that's where you're going to find yourself asking a whole bunch of questions. Well, what do I need to do? And what do I need to pick? And who should I work with? And what tools should I use? The light shows you everything. The light shows you everything. And that's where alignment comes in because the goal is again not to do more, but the goal is to stay aligned with the light of your vision, the light of your direction, with the light of your purpose, because they all work together. It's one big cohesive picture that you got to keep looking at. Again, what does that say? Vision is not what you see, it's the light that keeps you from wandering. It's the light that keeps you from being inconsistent. It's the light that keeps you from switching back and forth, wearing yourself out because you keep changing. It's the light that keeps you focused. It's the light that helps you to say no. It's the light that helps you filter out and the things that don't work and need to say yes. It's the light that helps you prioritize and tells you what order you need to do things. The vision is the key. Let it light your way, and you'll find yourself at peace. You'll find yourself more relaxed. You'll find yourself not worrying. You'll find yourself actually making more progress because you're more focused. And you'll just find yourself actually moving faster in the direction that you want to go because you're not constantly shifting your momentum and moving from thing to thing. So it's a powerful thing to have vision. And if you're a believer, write the vision, make it plain, and when you read it, you will run. Those are the aspects, or that's the profitability of having a clear vision is that it allows you the ability, it gives you the ability to run consistently and not run in circles, but run in the direction that you know that you want to go. So that is the end of this presentation. And